Hello everybody and welcome to my autumn 2022 weather forecast. On this video, I'm going to show you my precipitation, temperature, severe weather, and overall forecast for September, October, and November. Without further ado, let's start with my temperature forecast for autumn. It seems like we can safely say that this autumn is going to be warmer than average for the majority of the country, which is why I have shaded places from the west coast to the east coast in orange. Places within those darker orange colors have a greater chance at having higher than normal temperatures. We do have a light blue shade across the northern tier of the country. I expect that area to have closer to average temperatures, with even below average temperatures at times. This is because I'm expecting an increase in cold air invasions as we move into September. That darker shade of blue is where I expect a greater probability of below average temperatures, especially when strong storm systems pull down cold Arctic air. This now brings us to my precipitation forecast. Basically, the entire eastern half of the United States will have a similar forecast, with wet periods at times, and dry periods. Some areas will be wetter than usual, and other areas drier than usual. The western half of the country has a few different colors though. In the Pacific Northwest, I expect it to remain overall dry for the first few weeks of fall. I do believe that there will be a steady increase of precipitation as we move deeper into September and October, as Pacific storms start moving in. Places in this orange shade will unfortunately stay dry for all of fall, since the La Niña weather pattern will continue to keep it unfavorable for precipitation in the area. Lastly, I shaded the southwestern United States in a light green shade. This represents the monsoon that will likely continue into mid-September. I do believe that the monsoon will finally start to calm down and completely end as we move closer to October, as dry conditions set back in for the wintertime. Let's now take a look at my severe weather forecast for the months of September into November. If you live in this green shade, I expect little to no severe weather. Once we move into this yellow shade, I think that severe weather is possible, but with isolated threats of severe storms, mainly in early autumn. This orange shade represents a greater risk of severe weather, with several severe weather events possible during the fall months. This red shade is where severe storms are likely, with numerous severe weather events possible across different portions of the region. Lastly, this purple shade across the south-central into the southeastern United States is where I expect the highest threat of severe weather during September, October, and November. This now brings us to the final portion of the video, my overall forecast. We begin in the northwestern United States. Warm and dry weather will likely be in place for early fall, with a gradual trend towards cooler and wetter weather. This orange shade represents dry and warm weather, which I believe will persist through November. The dark green shade over the southwestern United States represents a September monsoon, before drying out into October and November. The light blue shade covers a large area from eastern Montana to Maine. This is where I expect a trend towards cooler weather starting in September, with cool weather becoming increasingly cold and widespread as we move into October and November. The next area is this white shade, which covers portions of the Rockies. This represents mountain snowfall, which I expect will begin by mid to late September. This purple shade from Colorado to the northeast is where I expect mild to warm temperatures for early autumn, before becoming cooler by late September into October and beyond. This light brown shade in the south-central United States is where I expect a drought to continue, although I do think some level of drought relief will occur. Next up, we have a green shade from eastern Texas to the southeast and mid-Atlantic. This is where I expect warmth and humidity to continue into September, with plenty of rain in some locations. Tropical impacts also cannot be ruled out if a tropical storm or hurricane was to make landfall. This purple color along the Gulf and southeast coastlines represents where tropical systems may make landfall in the autumn months, so if you live in that region, don't forget to stay on alert in case a tropical system heads in your direction. Lastly, this light green shade along the northeast coast is where nor'easters may bring heavy rain, strong winds, and rip currents. And that concludes my fall 2022 weather forecast. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one, and much more from my channel.